everybody, this is Miss Johnson, and today we're going to be talking about BUSN 1440 document production. And this is a very heavy workload course, so time consuming. Probably going to take you anywhere in the summer semester from 10 to 14 hours a week to complete the workload. And it's pretty relentless, meaning that there's not really any week in this 8 week semester that's going to be kind of a light load. So every week you're just going to be kind of hit with the same amount of work. So, advice from me to you, please stay ahead of your due dates. What you're looking at here is the lessons folder. I'm going to quickly jog over here to the calendar. When you're in the calendar, you can see exactly what's going to be due. The due dates are all set up for Sundays, and they are through now all the way through the end of the semester. It's all been kind of planned out. For this coming Sunday, you've got lessons 26 through 37 that are going to be due. So let's go to lessons and see what does that mean. So module 3 is lesson 26 through 31. If you click it, you'll see every link that's been assigned. And all of these links, every single one of them, is due on Sunday evening by midnight. That's 26 through 31. What we said was that 26 through 37 would be due. So in addition to Module 3, you also have Module 4, which is 32 to 37. When you click that, you will see that there are a number of links here to be completed as well. Let's talk about some of these links. As you click into a module and you click to open the link, you should get a screen like this, Cengage trying to populate. And it's going to look slightly different for you than it looks for me. For me, each task is laid out individually and I have a scroll bar. For you, it's automatically going to take you into this first screen, and it's going to say task 1 of 12. For me, each one of the tasks is one of one. But for you, all 12 will come up, and as soon as you finish this first one, it'll automatically advance you to the task 2 and task 3 until you go all the way through. Let's talk about how to navigate these lessons. Look at this first task, for example. Note that on the right panel are the instructions, and it tells you launch the Word application and open a blank document. You can create a new blank document by selecting the blank document template when you start Word. Well, that's probably something you already knew. What I'd like you to pay attention to is that this is the simulation. Notice that the simulation has a taskbar or at the bottom, right? There's also another taskbar. I'm telling you this for this first particular task because I got confused when I first learned this program. I thought it wanted me to open my version of Word, like Word from my own computer. It does not want me to do that. It wants me to open the simulation Word. Once that opens, then you see the blank document, and notice how it says correct. What that means is that I successfully completed it. If I were a student, I would now, when I hit close, it would automatically advance me over to the task 2. As a teacher, I have to click into it, but it would automatically open this for you. So this is going to be your task 2. Notice again, your instructions are here on the right panel. Key the text below. Let me point out something to you. This panel is narrow. It's not wanting you to hit the enter key at the end of each one of these lines. Do not do that. Word is a program that's automatically set up to word wrap. So as you start typing, an effective way to manage files is to create folders to store related documents. You're going to be typing that across your page. In fact, there's no place in here that you're going to hit the enter key until you get to the end. If this were paragraphs, you would see a space between the two, but it's not paragraph. So it's a paragraph between Alex Jones and an effective way. So you would type out over here. As soon as you click into this document, it'll automatically, the cursor will be flashing at the start point. Alex Jones. Notice that I'm going to hit the enter key now because I'm starting a new paragraph, and then I'm going to start typing. I'm not going to finish it, but you would if you were doing the exercise. When you're finished, you're going to click this down here called Check Your Work. This is not part of every assignment, but it's part of some of them. When it says check your work, like watch what happens when I click it. You're going to see that it tells me here I have 31 missed words. Well, that's because I didn't type the whole thing. I have 31 missed spaces because, again, I didn't type the whole thing. And 5 missed punctuations, again, because I didn't complete it. You will get this same feedback when you complete your assignment, and you'll get the opportunity to edit and correct. And then when you're finished, you can submit again. All right, so that is a little bit about how to navigate the lessons. Let's talk about when things get frustrating. Go back to lessons. Notice that in Module 3, I clicked that link to go into all of the links that are going to be completed. 2 documents are here for you. Helpful Hints, Lessons 30 and 31. When you open it, it'll open at the bottom. I have 2 screens, so I'm going to drag it back over here. Notice that this is Helpful Hints. This is telling you if there are any known problems with the lessons that you are going to attempt. So lessons 30 and 31 indicate that everything is good. If it were not, it would be in red. But lesson 30 indicates task 5, you have to use the merge formatting paste option. Task 6, same principle, you must keep text only option. Review 2 through 31 if necessary. So it's giving you sort of hints about any kind of issues you may run into as you're attempting the exercises. Sometimes it'll actually tell you, I'm trying to see if I can open up one that actually has some warnings. Okay, so this one actually has some red to it. Under lesson 26, it says, hint, to get the mini toolbar to appear, select the text. And be careful, only select what it tells you to, not extra spaces. What does she mean by extra spaces? Well, notice here, if I go into this document, for example, and I click the Show Hide key, I'm going to see all of the hidden characters. So if it tells me to select task 9 and I select task 9 and then I accidentally, maybe there were some extra spaces here, and I go ahead and I grab those extra spaces. Well, you know, if the Show Hide key is off, I can't really see that I grabbed anything extra. But if the Show Hide key is on, I can see those extra spaces. This would be an error because it specifically said, you know, don't grab extra spaces. So what it wants is for you to only select what it tells you to select. So be careful with the instructions to click only what's been asked. That's important. Okay, so my advice to you, always look at the helpful hints before you attempt the exercises so you'll understand if there's going to be some hiccups along the way. These are all documents. They've been created for you. Just FYI, I did not make all of these helpful hints up. There is a teacher in Florida who beta tested this program, Sam, a few years back. And as she went through it the first couple of semesters, she started documenting any kind of issues that students ran into along the way. There will be some issues that will frustrate you. Sam is not a perfect product, but it's a very good product for what it does. We've used about 3 different products for this course. Every one of them comes with the pros and cons. If we choose a different product, it's going to have different issues. So please don't be too frustrated as you're moving through. I do accommodate for any situation in which the top score can't be earned because of some kind of a flaw in the SAM program. Please don't think it's every lesson. It's not. There's a few of them throughout the semester. But I do drop about 10 scores at the end of the semester to make sure that if any kind of frustration is encountered along the way, that the accommodation is made at the end of the course to ensure that you get an opportunity to not be penalized for something that was out of your control. Second thing to understand is that one of the categories for grading is the timed writing category. The timed writing category, and let's just open this up, you'll see that there are time writings here. When you click on this, these will be time writings, and it says lessons 26 through 31, and this is timed writing 27B. As you move through, there'll be other time writings through this lesson as well. When you launch the time writing, you do not need a book for this. When you launch the time writing, what you need to type is at the top of the page, and you're going to be typing it here. As soon as you begin typing, this counter will start counting down to 0 from 3 minutes. Notice here that it says many students and young professionals find it quite difficult to juggle the things they prefer to do with the things they ought to do. So notice that this is indented. You would then hit the tab key, and notice as I hit the tab key, the timer has begun to count down. I'm not going to complete this because I'm not going to waste that time with you. Notice I am able to make mistakes and backspace and correct. You can do that throughout this particular time writing. I do believe there's some later on in the course that maybe won't allow you to backspace. So when you're finished, it will automatically count down from 3 minutes down to 0, and then you'll see that it'll give you a score up here. It'll give you your words per minute, number of errors, and your accuracy score. So that's how time writings are done. Just FYI, time writings account for 30% of the entire course grade. That's important. But here's something that's even more important. Because this is such a heavy workload course, if you are someone who already is a fairly good typist, I only count the top 5 time writings for the entire course. There are 31 time writings in this course. So let's just say that you finished the first 5 time writings and you like them. You like the grade. You have an A and you're good with that. If you didn't do any more time writings for the rest of the semester, you would be fine. You've got 5 scores that you like and that you are okay with those being the 5 scores representing 30% of your grade. That's important to know because that can save you some time. For those of you that are not great typists, the good news is there's 31 time writings. If you're not a great typist, you'll have to spend more time typing, but you have a lot of opportunity to improve and get 5 scores that you like. So that's about all that I wanted to tell you today. Good luck with completing the exercises. If you need some assistance, please send me an email or you can text me with the number I left you in announcements, and let me know if you need assistance. All right, have a great weekend. Bye now.